What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James. We back in these streets. We back in these free agent streets, and we talking about this free agency that's been going on. The first, 3 days that's been popping. A lot of movement, a lot of things. Y'all see my last couple of videos. I did my last video, and they had just signed, made the trade for Kyer, Elum. Didn't get talked too much about that. And then obviously they had another trade with the linebacker Kenneth Murray, and also picked up another linebacker, and gotta get all the names. Jake Sandborn. I don't know all the names yet, but I've watched some tape on him, but I just don't know. I'm not familiar with every name yet. So I'm gonna ask y'all in the comments, what's y'all's grade so far for the Cowboys so far? What would y'all give the Cowboys a grade? So make sure y'all jump in the comments after you see this video and let me know what are your thoughts, or what is your current grade of what they have so far overall. I'm not going to say overall for the Dallas's who they retain on within the organization. I'm talking about the outside guys that they brought in. Give me your grade. What so far do you think, and do you think the Cowboys need to do more? So with that being said, I'm just going to talk about a few of them right quick. So obviously, we talked about Solomon Thomas. I got the stuff right here. Rob Jones, Javonte Williams, Peyton Turner. Those were the signings prior. I said Solomon Thomas was the best signing out of those guys. Now Dallas went and got Jake Sandborn from Chicago. He's got the familiarity with Matt Eberflus. They've been together, so that's a good marriage right there because they already know each other. Then the Cowboys traded for Kyer Elum from the Bills, and then they traded for Kenneth Murray, linebacker of the Titans. Now, my first thoughts initially on Kyer Elum, I saw him. He's big corner, big and long. So he's a legit 6'1", about close to 200. Not super long arms, long enough. Good speed. Just watching him, I didn't see a lot of main tape. I just went through kind of some highlights, went some things like that because I was out all day, so I'm really going to jump into it today. So can't give a great evaluation from him. All I will say is I listened to a lot of the Bills people when they were talking about the trade, and a lot of Bills people really weren't feeling him after pretty much his rookie year. So he got drafted in the first round, late first round, around the 23rd pick, and just first year played a lot of snaps. Potential is there. He's only like 23, 24. But the year he's been there, 3 years? And first year got a lot of playing time, and then just eventually just got lower and lower on the depth chart. Guys passing him up. A lot of inconsistencies. I think that's the biggest thing with all the guys that they brought in. Inconsistency, injuries. But I feel like there's potential there. I see what the Cowboys did with this one, trading a pick for him, because a couple picks for him, because you got Deron Bland coming up, and you still got Trevin Diggs, who's on the mend, and then you got your pick from last year. Oh my God, his name keeps on just going past me. I know who the hell I'm talking about. It'll come in. It'll come in my head here in a minute. Matter of fact, let me just pull it up because I don't like not knowing the name. Kalen Carson. I knew it was going to come. Carson was your last year draft pick in the 5th round. And then, we'll see. First of all, the Butler kid I really liked. I wish he would have never got injured. He came in there playing really good. But if you're talking about Elum, I think the bigger picture is they're hoping that whatever he couldn't do, or maybe he has shown a little bit in Buffalo, that Eberflus and those guys can pull that out of him. Because you got Deron Bland on his final year of his deal. Trevin Diggs, we don't know what's going to happen with him. And I've already been saying, don't break the bank on Deron Bland. I like Bland, but do not break the bank on him. And I think that's one of the reasons why they went and picked up Elum, just in case it gets crazy with Bland and he may receive a huge thing. And you got a guy right here in Elum that can come in and has the size, has the speed, has some ability, but you haven't just tapped into it yet. So I think this is the buffer for bland, just in case, and could be the future because he's only 23 years old. So I see what they did. So I feel like you made that pick on potential. You traded a couple picks, but they were a 5th and a 7th, so that ain't good. I think you got a 6th back this year. So that remains to be seen. A lot of potential there. We'll see. Do I like it? I like the age. I like the size, and we'll see. I don't know. You know, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know about him and what's he really gonna do. I just feel like there's a lot of potential there, but potential don't matter if you can't put it on the field. So hopefully those coaches can bring that out of him. Then when we talk about the other trade, Kenneth Murray from the Titans came out of the University of Oklahoma. Now this is a guy I have known, because I liked him out of Oklahoma. The biggest thing with him was that athletic ability. Those athletic traits were crazy. And I remember before he signed with the Titans and he was with the Chargers and the Cowboys played the Chargers, I think it was Micah's rookie year, I was watching him in that game. I don't know if he had a decent game, but that was a guy when he was coming up, because I think he was going to come up for contract soon. And I was just like, man, I like Murray. You know, he's super athletic, comes down violent, very violent when he comes in. When he sees it, he hits it, he doesn't hesitate. I think his problem is he tends to, because he comes so hard, he overruns plays. He can get washed out of plays because of the angles, because he's coming so hard, he could overrun it and get washed out the play. Then you got a big run. But if you're talking about somebody who can come in and actually hit that ball carrier and stop him, yes. Shedding blocks, little bit, got to get better at. I think he's a pass rushing linebacker. That's what I saw. He had a career high 3.5 sacks this past year, 8 tackles for loss. Like I said, 8 tackles for. He had a career high in tackles for loss. I like he's violent. A lot of people didn't like the pick because, you know, a lot of times you have seen him when the ball carrier is down to, 3 or 4. It was kind of like the Jalen Smith effect. You remember Jalen Smith would have 120 tackles, but 70 of them was after he got 5 yards down the line of scrimmage. So it don't matter all them tackles you got if they ain't making impact. I think that's where you can kind of allude with that towards Murray. So I think that's why a lot of people are down on him. But as I said before, athletic is all out. Tackling machine. You want to see more, and he had tackles for loss, so it's not like it's there. He has pass rushing ability, and then I feel like he'll be good. I'm not saying he's a world beater or anything like that, but potential is there with Eberflus. Eberflus is really good with linebackers. That's what he does. He was the linebackers coach with Dallas for like 6 or 7 years. So that's what he does. So I think that's one of the reasons why they got the Murray, where they talk about how they picked up his salary, like 7.4, but Eberflus is the linebacker guy. So with that being said, I think this could be one of them situations where he could bring some more out of Murray. So I'm not going to say I hate that pick. A lot of people hated on that pick. I seen it in the streets and Twitter. I'm not hating that pick because, like I said, that's somebody who's aggressive. That's somebody who can come downhill. That's somebody who can pass rush. That's somebody who has size. And when you have a guy like Eberflus, who's a linebacker guy, who's a linebacker coach, and that's what he does, maybe he can bring that full potential out of him. So I don't think that's bad like other people say. But, you know what I'm saying? Who cares what other people are saying? I don't think that's a bad pickup for Dallas. And then we talk about Jake Sandborn. Let me get his name right. Let me put it up here because I don't like mispronouncing it. There we go. Jack Sandborn. Excuse me, Mr. Jack. But smart kid. Undrafted. Cowboys loved him. They loved them first rounders that ain't did shit, and they like them undrafted people that are super try hard. So, and he's already got familiarity with Eberflus because he was in Chicago. All I can say is he's a core special teamer. He's a guy that is very smart. He's the guy that knows where to be, where to put people, where he's one of those guys that is more the mind than the athletic ability, but he's a steady player. And I feel like he's one of them guys that you don't talk about, but can make a lot of sneaky plays for you. So that's why I like him, because he's not highly rated. But I feel like with him being with Eberflus, and that core, I just feel like he could really make some good plays for Dallas. So I like that pickup, especially with the background with Eberflus already. I feel like that's a smooth transition, and I feel like that's definitely going to help Dallas. And Dallas needed linebackers. They got a couple. So I ain't mad at that. So when I look at the guys that had the guys that the Cowboys had, we talked about those. Just talked about the guys they just recently signed. And hopefully, I just put on my Twitter account where they said they had the last best 10 free agents available. They had Asante Samuel Jr. at 9. I've been on that. I've been on that since the draft. I told you, I wanted him in the draft and not Kelvin Joseph. That's who I wanted, and I was mad they didn't do it. So now it comes back again full circle for you. You lost Jordan Lewis. This is like the clone to me. You feel me? Like, this is like the clone. And he only played 4 games last year, and he regressed a little bit. So that market ain't going to be super high for him. He's not going to cost a lot of money. You still need cornerback help. That one really makes sense. You need to make that happen. And then I like Dalvin Tomlinson, but he got picked up by the Cardinals, so I can't talk about him no more. But the last person on that list was Azeez Ojulari, if I said that. Another guy with a lot of potential, not a full-time starter, had a lot of injuries, but when he played, you could see some things. He ain't gonna cost a lot of money because he's not gonna be a starter. He's gonna be a depth piece, so you can have him. So don't just rely on the Peyton Turner. Get a guy like Azeez, because he has potential and he has shown some things more than I even say a Peyton Turner. So look at that right there. He'll be affordable. You'll still need edge guys. And if you want to grab that receiver, the Tyler Lockett, I ain't mad at it. Cooper Kupp, whatever. Keenan Allen, I'm cool. Get one of them old heads that can stabilize the second receiver spot. And then, draft. Them first 3 draft picks, you got to hit on them. If you're not trading them out, you better hit on them. So I'm going to close on that. I just want to say last thing, my grade for this current free agent crop, the outside guys, I'm going to go with a C right now. It could go maybe a little higher if you get Asante Samuel, if you get Azeez that I was talking about, and you get one of them old head receivers. I think that will come up maybe to a C+, maybe a B-, but I'm going to say more C+, because you really still haven't got any impact guys. There's a lot of depth guys and a lot of potential, low risk, high reward thing. It didn't cost a lot of money, but there's potential there. And if we didn't hit on this, it don't hurt us. So I can't get mad at that philosophy, for real. Just, you taking a gamble, because those guys don't do it. You really don't have anything else after that. That's the issue. So that's the gamble. But it's not a money gamble, so y'all willing to take it, whatever. And I'm going to end with, I know people probably going to trip on me for saying this, and I apologize, but Seattle, y'all crazy for paying D-Law that what y'all paid him. 3-year, $42 million. Bye. I'm not crying about D-Law being gone. I don't care what y'all tell me. Yes, he was a great run defender, but he wasn't no impact player to me. He wasn't. The biggest impact he made was 2017 when he got all them sacks, and he was turning up and going crazy, talking about he's a sack master on his profile, and he getting big sacks all the time. No, he wasn't. The only time he got sacks was in the Giants. I know anything about sacks because he had hella pressures and he played that run good. Had a great career in Dallas, so salute to that. But I ain't happy. I ain't crying that you're gone. I ain't crying that Demarcus Lawrence is gone. And I felt like it was time. You would have just been a progress stopper. It's time for your boy Parsons. It's time for your boy Sam Williams. Both of them said it's my turn. It's my time. So I think both of them were happy that you're gone. And so am I. I'm sorry. I ain't being disrespectful to D-Law, but that time was over. And you was overhyped, in my opinion. Just from me, you was overhyped. Too many people hyped you up, and the production didn't match with what people were always hyping you for. So I ain't crying the blues that Demarcus Lawrence is gone. See ya. Bye. Big Game James. I'm out. Peace.